All right, Virgo, welcome to your February 2023 reading, Virgo. This is for you, my friends. We're going to kick it off. Well, first of all, we're going to kick it off with me saying Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus sign Virgos. Don't have to be a Virgo sun. So Sun, Moon, Rising, and Vegas. Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. Apologies, Virgo. I don't know. I think I might be coming down with something. I'm not sure. I hope not. Anyway, we're going to kick it off with a Rumi quote, and then we'll get into some tarot here. Sorrow sweeps clean the house, so joy may move in. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That reminds me very much of the Tower card in tarot. You know, the sorrow, the dramatic change that reduces the tower down to its foundation. Well, it's because, you know, those layers needed to be removed so that something new could be built, and that's absolutely true. Absolutely true. All right, we're gonna do 3 cards general energy here. We're kicking it off with the 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups. You have options. You have choices. Okay. All right, we've got the Knight of Swords, fast-moving energy, and we have the 6 of Cups. Okay. Sorrow sweeps clean the house, so joy may move in. This would apply very specifically to some of you, or one of you, if you happen to have been potentially in a relationship recently that didn't go so well. Who knows? But what I'm seeing here is choices, rapid energy coming towards you, and then the 6 of Cups, which is usually an energy from the past. It can represent long-term relationships. It can represent soulmates. It can represent past life energies. It can represent family, friends, romantic interests, a lot of things, but relationally, very long-lasting and fulfilling relationships, okay? And again, sometimes can represent looking into the past. I feel like, let's look at the underlying. Queen of Swords. Yeah, okay. Virgo, I would wonder if maybe some of you have cut somebody out of your life in the recent past, perhaps, and you've been kind of rethinking that. Or you're contemplating doing that. I almost wonder if you're contemplating cutting somebody out of your life that's been in your life for a long time. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. I think some of you are considering whether or not somebody should stay or go in your life. Yeah. Sorrow sweeps clean the house, so joy may move in. That's interesting. By the way, I just noticed as I picked this up, the devil's on the underside of my clarifying cards here. Capricorn energy, but it could just be that there's an attachment. An attachment to somebody currently that you're maybe contemplating whether or not you should cut out. Or you have cut them out and maybe you're wondering if you've done the right thing. I'm not really sure. 7 of Cups is traditionally about, presented with a whole bunch of choices, but they're all in the thought life. They're all technically not there. It's something you're considering pursuing. So some of you are considering pursuing something. Some of you are considering removing something. All right, let's get some clarification, though, on the 7 of Cups. There's the 7 of Cups. Okay, here is the literal iteration of what I was describing. All of these cups have different objects in them, and they're all in the mind's eye to be considered. There's not any tangible thing here. So there's a decision that needs to be made. And you saw that card pop out immediately. That wanted to jump out right away, so there you go. I'm glad that Spirit is here to assist me because I feel like I'm up against the clock here. I'm suddenly just got a tiny little scratch in my throat last night when I went to bed. I woke up this morning and now I'm starting to feel spacey and, uh-oh, friends. And we got the Queen of Cups. Okay. Water sign energy, Cancerian energy. Virgo, you could be dealing with a Cancer. It's also an energy of nurturing, motherly energy too. And maybe you treat, that could be part of it too. In the narrative, it's like if maybe you're the one who gives all of the emotional nurturing to a situation. We need one more card for clarity. We got the Nine of Cups, or excuse me, the Nine of Pentacles. This is an energy of self-investment. That choice you're trying to make is whether or not you're going to continue nurturing somebody and mothering them, even though they're not taking care of themselves. You're like pouring and pouring and pouring water into a situation, or if you're going to focus on yourself, invest in yourself, and enjoy the fruits of your labor as a person who invests in themselves. I think that's what you're deciding. It's almost like, am I going to choose myself or the other, or taking care of this person? Underlying energy is the Knight of Wands. This other person may be very, very charismatic, or just knows the way to talk to you, knows the way to communicate certain things, or the way to come across, but doesn't really ever deliver. You know what I mean? Talks a big game, but doesn't really have much to show for it. Yeah. Okay. It's very, yeah, I think somebody out there is just maybe done tolerating somebody's shenanigans, perhaps, or considering the fact that maybe it's worth moving on. Let's clarify the Knight of Swords. Let's clarify the Knight of Swords. Clarify the Knight of Swords, please. Four of Cups. Stagnancy, wishing for more. Wishing for more, but not being able to look for it. I would wonder if this is something that's going to change. It might be describing the backstory a little bit. We've got Temperance. Temperance is a card of balance. Also a card of soulmates, by the way, but a card of balance. All four elements are represented in this card. The passion, the emotion, equally in balance with the rationality and the practicality. So you've got all four elements there in equal proportion. And there is a path to the kingdom in the background there. You can see that large crown. I think balance will bring about the clarity of where to go or how to move forward with this decision. And then we've got the Ace of Swords. Yes, clarity. I just said clarity. I did. Yeah, this is the sword of truth. This is clear communication. This is a clear understanding, a revelation of sorts. I think what happens here is the stagnancy is eliminated through the process of bringing a balance to your emotional state and your rationale, because the Queen of Swords is very rational. The Queen of Cups is very emotional, right? It's a balance between those two, I feel, for you. The intellect of the air with the emotional outpouring of the cups, of the water. When that comes into balance, clarity is achieved. And I think it's going to cause you to get on the move rather quickly. Underlying the deck is the Ten of Swords. To get you, I think where you're going here is out the door. I know that's really specific. It could be a job too. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It could be a lot of different types of things, but the clarity that you get is going to be cutting yourself loose from a situation, cutting yourself loose from the binds of the devil, so to speak, and you're just going to go. Like, I think you're done. I think it's done and over with, which is great. The Ten of Swords leading into the Ace of Swords, it's the end of a movement, and like something is getting put behind you, and that's a really good thing. All right, let's clarify the Six of Cups. Clarify the Six of Cups. All right, one more shuffle. Ace of Cups. Okay, a new emotional offer, a new emotional, an emotional renewal. In this most Spartan way I could say it, an emotional renewal could involve an offer from another person, could be about your own individual emotional recognition of yourself. You know, you may fall in love with yourself more. Let's get 2 more cards for a little more clarity. Yeah. You know, in the context of the Rumi quote, sorrow sweeps clean the house so joy may move in, it's like in the context of a house and the context of cohabitating with somebody, you got to get the deadbeat out so that you can so that the soulmate can move in, perhaps. I mean, that's very specific for somebody. Take that as it resonates. That is not advice. That is for entertainment purposes only. Don't break up with your boyfriend just because some asshole on the internet says so. 3 of Wands. You'll know what to do, my friends. Just to clarify. 3 of Wands. You know what to do. 3 of Wands. You know what to do, but you're waiting. You have the mind, body, and spirit in alignment, and you are ready to take a long journey across this plain into those mountains in the distance, yet you are not walking. Not yet, anyway. I think you're about to. And then we have the 10 of Pentacles. Here is a little encouragement to take that step. Here is the 10 of Pentacles. This is about your legacy. This is the fulfillment of the Pentacle Suite, and it's literally your health, wealth, finances, love, family. I mean, it's kind of an embodiment of all of it. All of the 3D, basically. Beautiful, beautiful card. Very happy card, of course. 10 of Pentacles. We all want it. We all crave it. Queen of Wands on the bottom. The Queen of Wands knows exactly what she wants, and she insists on it. She insists upon achieving her manifestation. She's not going to stop. And she's not going to stop because she has found confidence within herself. And the sunflower in her hand represents the sun. I stole that from Minnow Pond, of course, because who doesn't steal from Minnow Pond? He's a very great teacher. By the way, Minnow Pond Tarot on YouTube, if you're not familiar, he's great for learning as well as the readings themselves. Represents the sun, which is extremely happy and celebratory card. I feel like basically, guys, if you're on the fence, this very specific narrative, one of you is on the fence about leaving something behind, and I think you should. The cards are suggesting you probably should. A job, a person, I don't know what, but it's important because the thing has to get, the thing that is frustrating you that isn't exactly what you want is actually standing in the way of the thing you do want, Virgo. And yeah, I know that sounds ridiculously selfish, but there's a couple ways to look at these things in the context of relationships, especially. Soulmates are people who help you learn life lessons, and they come in many forms: family, friends, lovers, pets, and they're not, they're seldom ever permanent. They're just not. We know what the statistics are on marriage, for example, and so it's becoming, especially as we move through time into this new age, I feel like it's just something that I think people's frame of reference is shifting greatly when it comes to relationships, and I think people have an understanding that oftentimes they have a shelf life. It's not mandatory that they have to be temporary, but oftentimes they are, because we're learning to release these things. And I feel like one other thing about it is, like, if you have a person in your life, if I'm speaking your story right now, who's like the Knight of Wands kind of guy, talks a big talk but isn't pulling through, there's something he's not learning and he needs to learn, right? There may be another person for him that's going to help him learn that lesson, another soulmate for that lesson. The lesson that you and this other person had together is probably coming to an end, and it's time for you to go learn different lessons, perhaps, okay? Perhaps. Take it as it resonates, of course. This is for entertainment purposes only, and don't listen to an asshole on the internet telling you to do anything. But let's get the outcome. slash advice slash things to be aware of, and we'll send you on your way, Virgo. Fascinating reading. I see you very empowered here. I mean, I see you very, very empowered here. So just with the Nine of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands, and I think that is the answer. And Virgos, there's lots of stereotypes. If you're not familiar with zodiac stereotypes, I mean, you can obviously go look. Virgos do have a reputation for this kind of thing, but I'm encouraging you to go ahead and lean into that stereotype. I think you should insist on perfection and be selfish. And by the way, perfection will never happen, but I still feel you should insist because it'll keep you moving. I feel like you need to move. I feel like you're stagnant and need to move. Excuse me. Jeez, wow. My brain is shutting down. I think I am sick. That really sucks. Outcome line. The Hanged Man. We've got the Hanged Man here, represented by a special kind of mushroom. There's something that needs to be seen from a different perspective, and you might need to make yourself uncomfortable in order to see that thing. So, yeah, there's a shift in perspective. That's very to the point. I like that. This is a cool deck. We have the Ten of Wands here. This is about a burden being released. It's time for you to let go of the burden. You don't need to be carrying that burden on your back. And the final card is the High Priestess. Because you already know, you need to trust spirit, trust your intuition, trust your gut, trust your guides, trust your logic and reasoning skills too. I feel like the gist of this is that it's time to let go of something. Underlying is the Page of Swords. Page of Swords, by the way, is a card that is all about communication. The Suit of Swords is mostly about communication and thoughts, but the Page of Swords is one that is kind of a defensive energy. It's establishing boundaries and insisting on the boundaries being enforced. So it could be something of an ultimatum for some of you where you're just not going to tolerate some kind of behavior anymore. It could be an ultimatum where it's like, look, here's the ways that you're violating my boundaries, the lying, the whatever, right? Drug abuse, whatever it is, right? I don't know what it is. Whatever this other person is doing, that they're violating your boundary in some way. You're going to take a stand for it, which we did see the Queen of Swords earlier, and she's willing to cut people out. She's willing to use her sword because she can see through the BS, and she's willing to use her sword when she needs to. I feel like you have it. I mean, the Queen of Swords, the Ace of Swords, and now the Page of Swords. It's like I think you know exactly what this is if this is your message, and if that ultimatum is not being respected, it may be time to step into your confidence, step into your power, and either get out of the situation or kick them out of the situation, depending, of course. Yes, indeed. Sorrow sweeps clean the house, so joy may move in. Wow. Okay, that's what I have for you, Virgo. Thanks so much for being here. Please click the like button if you liked it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed and you liked it, of course. And I will see you next time, hopefully with a little bit more of a clarity of mind. Take care, friends.